Hello, I'm Steve Shaw, National Coordinator of Football Officials and Secretary Rules Editor for the NCAA. And today we're continuing our series of training videos for 2025. And we're going to be featuring game action for Week 9. Now, before we move into the month of November, and it's hard to believe we're even saying that, but I want to say thank you to you for your continued preparation. That is so important for us to deliver excellent performances on the field. And make sure we prepare on our kick plays. You're going to see a lot of kick plays on this video. But one stat I want to share with you on onside kicks. So far in FBS in 2025, we've had 101 onside kicks attempted, and 20 have been successful. In other words, recovered by the kicking team. That's a 19.8% success rate. That's 5% over our success rate from last year, and almost 10% over our success rate in 2022, which was our low water mark. But we'll keep an eye on that, but let's make sure we're ready on all kickoffs. Also, I want to mention, we talk about extra periods a lot early in the year, but let's take some time in our pregame conference this week and let's go over extra periods in total. Everything that can happen to us, penalty enforcement, let's be ready if we get into extra periods. So with that, let's get on into our video.
Our first play this week, the quarterback takes the snap, he looks downfield, he's hit hard by a blitzing defender for a big loss, and he fumbles the ball, which is recovered by the defense. Now we know a player in a passing posture is considered defenseless, so replay is going to stop the game here to look at the hit for potential targeting. Now the quarterback is clearly in a passing posture. He cannot defend himself. He is truly defenseless. And the defender leads with the head, attacks the defenseless quarterback forcibly into the head or neck area. So replay confirms all aspects of targeting, and the foul is initiated from the booth and the player is disqualified. Now, the targeting occurred before the change of possession, so the offense will keep the ball with a 15-yard penalty from the previous spot, and it'll have an automatic first down. Now, we know by rule when a player is in a passing posture, a defender cannot hit him in the knee area or below. That would be roughing the passer. And if he's hit by a player forcibly in the head or neck area, it's targeting. So the strike zone for the defense into a passer is above the knees and below the head or neck area. Our second play, we're going to take a look at another hit on a player in a passing posture. Now we see the quarterback, he drops back and he's hit hard by an outside blitzer and he's taken down. Now we get a flag from our referee and he and the center judge are going to have a discussion, and then the referee is going to pick up the flag. And as we go back and take a look at the hit again, there's no question the player is in a passing posture, so he's defenseless. But that doesn't mean he can't be contacted hard and taken down if it's done the proper way. Now, there was no contact low, not in the knee area or below, and no targeting as the defender stayed off the head neck area of that quarterback. So the hit here is in the strike zone. It's a good play by the defense, no foul. Play 3, we're going to get a punt from the kicking team's own 20-yard line. Now we see that the ball is partially blocked. It goes up high in the air, and then number 57 of the kicking team is going to catch it right at the 21-yard line, and he's going to rumble forward to the 27. Now, we know by rule, no inbounds player of the kicking team shall touch a scrimmage kick that has crossed the neutral zone before it touches an opponent. This catch was 1 yard beyond the neutral zone, so this is illegal touching, and the receiving team can take the ball at that spot of illegal touching. And we know that when the kicker catches or recovers the ball, it's dead at that point. So the receivers are going to take the ball at the 21-yard line. Now, if the kick would have failed to cross the neutral zone, any player of the kicking team could catch or recover the ball, and then the ball would continue in play, and they could advance, and if they made the line the gain, it would be a first down. But here, this ball was caught beyond the neutral zone. The crew did a good job, and the receivers get the ball at the 21-yard line. Play 4, we get a punt from the -46. Now, the return man is going to make the catch. He has a modest return, and he's going to be down. Now, we always talk about being good dead ball officials and staying alert in the dead ball period. We can never let our guard down. And as we go back and take a look at this, we see that the punter, number 8, he's going to go downfield, and at the end of the play, he gives himself up, and then he's popped by number 9 of the receiving team. And as we look at it from the end zone view, we see that the ball becomes dead, and then number 9 of the receiving team takes the shot at the punter. Now, we need to be alert to this type action in the dead ball period and get our markers down. We get good reaction from the crew here, but if we don't penalize this type action, it can lead to negative issues in our game. Let's stay alert in the dead ball period. Play 5 is a 4th and 1 situation with the line to gain at the plus 26. Now the quarterback hands off to the back. He's hit, stymied, he bounces off and is down. Now we see our wing officials coming in on separate yard lines. The head line judge is beyond the line to gain, and when we spot the ball, we rule first down. Now, the first look we get, there's immediate doubt if this player made the line to gain, and on this first glance, it looks like he may have lost yardage. Now, the defensive coach is going to call timeout, and he asks for the referee to come over, and then they're going to have an extended conversation, and then we're going to get an announcement by our referee.
Kennesaw State is challenging the ruling on the field that the runner reached the line to gain. Play is under review.
Now, after review, we see that the original surge by the ball carrier is short of where the ball was snapped from. He bounces off, and he's down clearly short of the line to gain. So replay properly overturns this call to short of the line to gain, and the ball goes over to the defense on downs. 2 points on this play. First, headline judge, line judge. Communicate well on the spot, know who has the better view, and make sure we're not staggered like this. One needs to peel off. Replay, you need to stop this game, not the coach. There was plenty of time to stop the game before the challenge and before the announcement. This needs to be a replay stop and not a coach's challenge. Play 6, we get a punt. It's a lower line drive. The deep receiver is properly pointing at the ball. The ball continues to bounce, and finally it bounces back, and it's going to hit number 5 of the receiving team in the left foot, and the kicking team is going to recover, and we award the kicking team the ball. Now, this is a good alert, and as we go back and look at the play, there's no question that the ball was first touched by number 5 of the receiving team, and as we look at his actions, number 5 was actively engaged in blocking when the ball hit him, and this is good judgment by the crew. He clearly was not blocked into the ball. He was actively engaged in blocking with an opponent, and this is not forced touching. Good ruling by the crew on the field. Play 7, and we've had a lot of punts this week. Let's stay alert on all kick plays. Now, the offense has 4th and 7. They're going to punt. Now, the punt is short. The receiver calls for a fair catch. Is hustling forward. He's going to muff the punt, and there's a big scramble for the ball. Now, our officials are going to do a good job and come in, and they're going to dig this thing out to determine who has the ball and to ensure there are no issues in the pile. Now, clearly, both teams believe they've recovered the ball, and we can see both teams signaling that they have it. But finally, we're going to come out and award the ball to the receiving team. Now, as we go back and look at the recovery from the low end zone camera, we see both a kicking team player and a receiving team player gain joint possession of the ball while on the ground. Now, we know by rule, if opposing players who are eligible to touch the ball simultaneously possess it and the ball is declared dead in joint possession, then it's awarded to the receiving team as the crew did here. So good job, and we know this principle applies to the offense and defense as well. If opposing players have possession of the ball when it's declared dead, the ball belongs to the offense. Our last play illustrates just how important it is that we stay fully engaged through the last play of our contest. Now we see there's 6 seconds left in the game. The offense is down by 7 points, and they need a touchdown and an extra point to tie the score. Now the quarterback drops back, he waits, and then he throws for the end zone. There's a big jump ball at the goal line, and our side judge rules incomplete pass, and time expired during the play. Now, replay is going to stop the game, and the officials do a good job of working to keep the teams in place. And as we look at the catch, no catch, we can see from the end zone view, although the ball is bobbled, it never hits the ground, And the receiver for the offense, he gains firm control, so it is a catch. But as we go back and look at the down-the-line views at the goal line, even though it's a catch, the ball never breaks the plane of the goal line. So replay is going to overturn the call on the field to a catch, short of the goal line, no score, and the game is over. Good job by the crew to get all the details buttoned up before we head out. Well, that's it for our plays this week. Let's use these as learning opportunities within the crew. Now, as we get ready to go, remember we want quality fouls. Make it be there, nothing technical. And let's use excellent communications this week. Communications with coaches, players, and other officials. Use your winning words. Remember that you can work a pretty average ball game, but if you do a great job communicating with your coach, he'll usually be pleased. Let's make sure we display our integrity, courage, and poise, and make sure that we let the tight situations reveal our true character. Be mentally and physically ready to work the game, and above all things, keep hustling. Best of luck to all.